Alright gang, welcome back to our Can You Survive 25 challenge here on Zielonka. It is October. We do have one field to harvest today. It's a sunflower field, one of the ones down there by our yard where it currently is on Farm 2. That needs to be harvested. We've got to have quite a few more. We're going to have quite a few more. Let me try to reword that again. We're going to have quite a few more coming up next month that will also require a little bit of harvesting. So, but otherwise, things are looking good. We do need to move some liquid fertilizer around here to the hydroponic greenhouses. As you can tell, we're getting a little low. So we need to do that. Actually, one of them is as low as it can get. So we definitely need to do that today. So we're going to spend a little bit of money on that. Everything else otherwise looks like it's relatively okay from a production standpoint. Greenhouses they're fine. I mean, we can move some more over here, but really they're fine. Pickle production, it's still cruising along. It's fine. Yeah, and still some canola in there, so we'll leave that on for the time being. And yeah, we'll keep on keeping on, I guess. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well. Things are good, man. Things are good. So, we got to buy some liquid fertilizer here. It's going to be relatively expensive. We only have $117,000 in the bank account right now, which is not a lot. But that's okay. We'll spend a good chunk on it today just because we want to make sure those greenhouses continue. We don't want them to ever stop. And as you saw, one of them has already stopped. So we don't really want that to continue to happen. So I'm going to buy probably around 20,000 liters here. It might not be enough. But as you can see, very expensive, $12,399, but we will see. Yeah, it looks like we're going to probably need a little bit more. All right, so let's go buy some more. I thought that was going to be enough. It is not. Now, we do have this sand-type texture here on this one as well, and I'm going to continue to use it even though it is a bit of a struggle. It is a little bit easier to maneuver on this map with the equipment that we have versus the island preservation. Maybe later on the island preservation wouldn't have been as bad with the sand, but that one has just been a little bit of a struggle to move through. So yeah, I guess we'll see as we move along here, but for the time being, that little sand's not really bothering me too much, but it very well may start to here soon enough. Getting ready to be out of town for a little bit. I've mentioned that a couple of times in other episodes, but I don't know if I've actually mentioned it here or not, but I am going to be out of town for a little while, about a week. Pre-planned trip, long time ago. It's a trip actually with my wife's family to a cabin that they have in the state up north from where I live. I'm not going to say that state because we don't really like them here in Ohio. And then after that, we're just going to pop on over to Wisconsin and meet up with some of my friends and go to a bit of a festival that weekend. So it'll be a full week, 2 weekends, but a full week gone, really. But I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I really do. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So, a beer, bacon, and cheese festival. Never been to one of those. Been to many beer festivals, if you will. I don't even know if I've actually been to a bacon festival. I love bacon, but I don't think I've ever even actually been to a bacon festival. And I certainly have not been to a cheese festival, so this will be different. But it's Wisconsin, right? So cheese is plentiful up there. And realistically, you would think it's going to be some of the best cheese I probably have ever had. Now, I don't like all cheeses. I will admit that. My wife loves pretty much every cheese possible. Well, it would be nice if I actually had the right header on. Way to go, Z. You already killed crop. Good job, buddy. I've got to go buy a header for this. Whoops. I completely forgot about that. All right, well, let's go get a header. We can talk some more while we're doing that. So, yeah, you know, my wife is big cheese fan. I love bacon, so I'm excited about more of the bacon and the beer than anything. But she's definitely more excited about the cheese. So, we'll see. Never been there. Never been to one like that. Never really been to the area of Wisconsin we're going to either. You know, I've been to the Dells. It was kind of where I went to college. I went to college in Minnesota, but it was basically right on the edge of Minnesota, Wisconsin, right on the Mississippi River. A small little town. It was just a college town. Long time ago. But anyway, you know, on the way there, I have to drive through the Dells all the time. So I had stopped at the Dells multiple times. We're going to stop in the Dells on the way there. for one night, just one night, nothing crazy. You know, so she can see that because she's never been been there. So we'll do that, and then we'll pop on down to their house, which is about 2 hours or so, 2.5 hours from the Dells. Nothing too crazy. So yeah, it'll be a fun little trip. Realistically, the trip itself is really, it's not going to be that expensive, minus the price of gas right now. That's the only, I guess, downside or the negative. But the actual trip itself, the stays and things, really inexpensive. The only stay we're actually paying for is that one hotel night in the Dells. Everything else, the cabin with my wife's family, luckily don't have to pay anything for that. And then my friends, we're just crashing at their house, right? So that's another free stop. So it's really just the gas and then whatever else we want to do, like money-wise, we want to spend on food or whatever it is, right? So shouldn't be a very expensive one, to say the least. Now, this actually looks like it's ready to harvest too. Did I look at that wrong? Perhaps we've got multiple fields here. I thought I just had one, but nope, we do. We have two. Okay. I thought it was just this one. We've got two. Even better. Even better. Now, this one's not ready to harvest yet. We've talked about maybe using the yard there. We've talked a lot of things about where we're going to put the yard here. Really don't still have the direction I want yet. I'm going to, I guess, think about it a little bit more as we move along. But I don't know. I'm not quite sure which way I want to go with the yard here. I definitely think over in this region makes a lot more sense than where it currently is. I know it's not a huge move, but in comparison to like going up to some of the, oh, that field's ready too. Almost forgot about that field. But going up to some of these other fields here, it's definitely going to be closer, right? So I think it makes a lot more sense to move it up in that area. So we'll see. But somewhere in that region is probably where it's going to be at. Maybe here, maybe. But it might be a little too far away. I mean, it's not terribly far, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, I guess. Okay, so anything in the used market? Not really. Not really. I mean, there's some stuff out here, but not really. Okay, so we need a header. Did I go past the harvester? No, I didn't. There it is. So let's just do this, and then, all right, so we've got a 63 option and 108. I think I would prefer the 108. It's a larger one. It will get things done a little bit quicker. So what can we do to get to 108,000? Because we just spent a bunch of money on that liquid fertilizer, right? It's October. The canola oil is not really going to be best, but it should be decent. It is. I still think we wait on that. Pickled production. We've got a lot of those. When is the pickled production stuff? I look at these, I feel like every single time we do an episode, but I just don't have them memorized. This is the only time I'm using it right now, so it's not good. It's not good. It's pretty much the worst price it could be. All right. I don't know how else we can... coffee bean roasted. When is that? When is that? We didn't look at that. Nope. I mean, it's not bad. The price really doesn't fluctuate all that much. Perhaps that's what we do is the coffee bean roasted. We got a lot of that, right? We got a lot of that. 164,000 liters. That's a lot of that. I don't think I want to do the wood chips. We know that's going to be best here in a couple months too. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so I'll turn that off for right now. Let's jump over to this, and let's just load this trailer up. Whatever this trailer will accept, that's what we'll load up, and that's what we'll sell. And we'll see what kind of money we get off of that. We want to go to here. The price is dropping. Farmer's Market, which is where we're used to going. Right down here where we're thinking about putting maybe the yard at. The new yard, I should say. So I don't need to have that on if that's where we're going. I know where that is. And the nice thing about this is there's so much roasted beans in there that, you know, a full trailer here, I mean, we still have 100,000 liters still in here, right? So are we losing a little bit of money? Yes. But is it really going to make a huge difference? No. It's really probably more beneficial right now to help us, you know, than anything. So... But yeah, hopefully you're all doing well and staying safe and all that good stuff. Things are good, man. They really are. Real good progress on a lot of stuff here. So what I can tell you is, I know in the last episode, I think I mentioned I've been working on a shop. Still in the process. It's in the works. I've got a number of shirts kind of designed. It's first stabs at them. You know, there probably will be different iterations and different designs as we move forward. And new shirts, I'm sure, will continue to come out as long as this goes as well as I'm hoping. But I did buy one, right? And I did say that I wanted to buy a shirt first and foremost to make sure that the quality is where I want it to be and that it's something that I could feel proud of having up there to sell. So if somebody wants to buy one, you know, I feel confident that they're not going to feel like they got cheated out or anything like that. I'm trying to keep the price of the shirts around $30. I think that's a great price. I'm not making much money of anything off of that. It's really just a couple bucks to allow me to, you know, give every once in a while some, you know, type of discounts or whatever. And then I'm obviously going to give my members a bit of a discount as well. So that's realistically it, though. Not trying to make tons of money off of it. It's more, I mean, selfishly, it was more for me. I wanted to have some cool tractor shirts and farming shirts, and I just feel like there's not that many out there. So I figured I would, you know, give it a shot and see what happens. So that's what we're doing. So we will see how the shirt comes out. If it's bad quality, it's going to be back to kind of square one. I'm not going to release something that is bad quality. It shouldn't be bad quality, but, you know, you just never know, right? You never know until you get it. So I will see how it turns out, and we'll kind of go from there. Also have some stickers that I've made. Same thing. The same designs of the t-shirts. I've made them in sticker form, which I think is kind of cool. I also have my logo, my main logo, as a sticker as well. So I bought the main logo sticker, the biggest one you can get. There's different size stickers you can get, but I bought the biggest one I could get for my specific logo, and then the shirt. So we'll see how they come out. You know, if I waste money, I'd rather me waste money than you. So we'll see what happens. I am passing this car when he's trying to lap me. I say lap, he's just trying to pass me, but I ended up passing him once I got going. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. I will let you know, as I always do. Once it's live, I'll, you know, make a post about it, and I probably will shamefully plug it for a little while for the first couple of episodes or so, and then probably just make a note of it somewhere in, you know, the ending or whatever as we move forward. Who knows? Certainly not something I expect, you know, but if you're interested in it and you like what I've designed, by all means, go for it. You know, that's going to be kind of one of those setups or approaches. That's really what I'm hoping for. Okay, so anyway, we want this guy, right? That's the one we want. There are other ones. There was this one, I think, that was out there for a while, or maybe it was another one. Was it on this series or another series? I don't even remember. You know, these gigantic ones, maybe once we get a lot going on, we might go to that. But for now, I'm okay with this. I'm going to do a case red to kind of match our harvester here. 108. A lot of money. But we're going to use it. We're going to get a lot of use out of it. So, and having that wide width is really going to help us. It's going to speed things up tremendously. So I think what I'm going to do first is we're going to start with the field that's right here. The skinny long field that's right here. And then, I don't know, do we head up to the small one, I guess? Probably makes sense. Or maybe we should go to the small one first. There's quite a lot of fields here that are ready to harvest. Are any of these other ones sunflowers? No, they're not. Well, up here they are, but remember we've kind of designated this area up here and these fields right here specifically to Farm 3, which is yet to start, but will start at some point in the near future. Let's do the big one. Let's do this big skinny one first, and then we'll make a decision at that point, I guess. All right, there we go. Perfect. So get a little bit of a headland pass here just so I can turn around a little bit easier here. Yeah, I'm missing that completely. Come on. Get a little bit further over there, Z. I think it's just get the actual field itself is kind of in a bit of an angle going this way. It's not exactly straight. All right, perfect. The thing's a beast, man. Look at that. Thing's a beast. This is great, man. This is fantastic. So we're going to have a lot of sunflowers we're going to get off these 3 fields, which we're going to turn directly into sunflower oil. We do have that production going, right? So we're going to turn that directly into our sunflower oil here. Now, one thing we might want to consider, since we're going to be moving that yard here soon, maybe we don't want to necessarily put them in here. Because once they're in here, I don't think we're going to be able to get them back out. And if we're going to move it that soon, I mean, I'm going to have to leave this running for a while down at the other end. Which I guess isn't necessarily a bad thing. I guess it's fine. We can do that. But, you know, you'd probably want to move everything when it's time to move stuff. I guess that's something we got to think about, I guess. I don't know. I don't know the answer to it. The problem with getting this section here is it's very expensive, right? It's very, very expensive. So I think I'm leaning more towards going here or maybe here, even though that's a lot further north than this one is. It's probably going to be this one, right? And then hopefully, once we're able to own this, well, okay, never mind. I was going to say, I thought maybe we'd be able to buy some of this, but I was hoping we might be able to get rid of some of these trees and just build basically a track from here straight over to here, but it looks like that's not really going to be feasible or possible now that you look at it a little closer. So even with this wider width here, it is going to take us a while to get this done. I mean, it's a lot bigger of a field than you actually think it is, just looking at it, right? It's a lot bigger than you think. So, all right, well, you know what we got to do. Well, a lot of sunflowers to harvest today. Let's get into it. we got 2 of the 3 fields we have to harvest today done, which is good. Didn't have to unload from that smaller field as well, which is also a good thing. So we're going to get back here. I'm going to put a worker on actually starting the field that's closest to our current yard for a little while, brief period of time, while we transport the remainder here of the sunflowers. Now, I don't know, like I said, I don't know quite what I want to do here yet. I'm kind of leaning towards not putting them into the production based solely on the fact of what I just told you, and the fact that that other field will be ready to harvest next month. And the odds are maybe not necessarily next month, but December, January, February, these winter months when we're going to have not much to do. We'll be doing some plowing, obviously getting the fields prepped, the sunflower fields prepped, rather. But we're not really going to have a whole lot to do besides that. I think that probably makes a lot of sense when we're going to start working on, you know, changing the yard wherever we decide to put it. Money, of course, pending, unless we take spots that we already own. So, yeah, I think I'll just put it in our silo for now. We do have a silo, so I think I would just put it in the silo for the time being. I hope I don't eat my words and we should have put it in there. We would have had plenty of time to get through it or anything like that. I don't think we will because of just the canola and how long it's taken to get through that, but I don't know. I've been wrong before, right? So who knows? Hopefully the worker stays on this path. If they don't, well, it is what it is. There's not much I can do about it. I'm just going to have to stop them and back it up so we can unload it, because it is relatively full. We should be able to get this, hopefully, all unloaded into the silo first and foremost before that happens, but there's still a chance. Now, if we do decide, I'll do a quick autosave, but if we do decide left-hand corner right now, 56, 55, if we do decide to take those fields away and make the yard there, it is going to have a pretty severe drop, like a sheer drop, because we're going to kind of take a spot and level it all the way across so it's flat. So that way we have, you know, we don't have any issues with putting any kind of productions or what production, well, that, but sheds and things too, right? So, we'll have to see, I guess, right? That's how I'll leave it. We'll have to see. So quite a bit of sunflowers off those 2 fields there, really, which is good, right? We bought that one field. This field here, we bought it. It already had sunflowers in it, so that was pretty helpful, right? We're going to keep an eye on some more of these fields as we move along and hopefully buy some more. Alright, so the workers should be getting ready to do this portion of the headland pass here. So we just need to get ourselves turned around and in a position where I'm about to go across this little creek here. Because we definitely want to get most of this unloaded right now, so I'm just going to utilize the worker for a few more seconds here to unload it on the fly. And then we'll take over for the worker again and complete this field. There we go. Good deal, good deal. Now, for some reason, I'm not getting the different color change here on the field, which is a little weird, but okay. Well, I guess we'll figure it out as we move along, I guess. But now, when we do get rid of all this stuff down here, you know, this field was a little bit bigger than what it is right now. We can expand it again, right? We can, well, I mean, we've got the ground painted, so we kind of know where our boundary is. So we'll probably go out further than the actual field was a little bit and just kind of expand this ever so slightly. Certainly not going to go much further than, you know, where the end of our painting is. Probably a little bit closer, actually, to the middle of the field where we're at right now. But, you know, we'll expand it a little bit. We'll get a little bit of an extra income, extra yield off this field. Realistically, you can see where it was. It kind of lined up with that field straight ahead of us, so there was not a huge amount that we took away, but we're going to add even a little bit more back, so we'll make up for it, if you will. All right, good job, Z. I literally thought we had it lowered. It does like a very, very modest, tiny little movement when it's lowered or not for the corn and the sunflower header here. So, oh well, bit of a mistake there. But weird, and again in the left-hand corner that nothing's changing as far as the field goes. But whatever. So while that's doing that, so in case you just stumbled across this and didn't see some of the previous episodes, if you go here and you look at this, you can see it is slanting this way, right? So more than likely we would take, honestly, it's probably going to be over here. It's a little bit flatter back here, and then just kind of pull it out all the way to here and all the way down here. And then this whole section would be our yard. Now, I thought about making a track coming up this way. Maybe we still do, but it might make more sense just to have the entrance of the yard be down here, and then it just kind of expands this way, right? That make more sense. But if that's what we decide to do with those two fields and take those out and make that our yard, we'll figure it out when that time comes. But that's at least what I was initially thinking. Being very careful now before I get going to make sure that it actually is lowered back down. The only other option realistically that we talked about was, you know, we need a lot more money. But if we buy this field here, it comes with this section here with all these trees. If we take all these trees down, that's relatively a large area for a yard. And realistically, I mean, we could kind of expand the yard into here, right? I'm not saying we will, but I'm not saying we even need to. But, you know, there's an option that we could do that. The only other one is this section here. It's a little bit flatter, but again, we are going to have to take a leveling to this. Because they both kind of slant towards the middle a little bit in this way. So, but this again is a little bit more towards the absolute middle versus this being a little bit closer to some of these fields, right? So, yeah, I don't know. We got to think about it. We got to figure that out. But that's where we're at. Input always welcome, positive and negative, always welcome. I can't always fix everything that you may or may not like, but if you let me know what it is, I'll certainly do every attempt I can to try to fix that as well. Can't make everyone happy, totally get that. Not trying to specifically, but if there is something that is minor that I can fix, or that you think would be a better approach, or I'm doing something wrong, I'm 100% on board to learn what that is and try to resolve it. Now, I'm not gonna plow or do anything with these fields today. We're gonna have plenty of time to do that, like I mentioned, right? We've got the winter months coming up. We can't do anything with sunflowers until March at the earliest, right? So we've got plenty of time. We'll realistically, after next month, we're gonna have 4 months, well, I guess 3, before we can actually even put anything in the ground. So 3 months is a long time, right? It's a long time. So now we are gonna have things to sell, and right, that's gonna take time to do all that. I get that, but I'm not too concerned, though. You know, there's just it should not take us 3 months to get all of the sunflower fields re-plowed up and put lime down on them, right? It shouldn't take us that long to do all of that, especially now that we have that big, large plow over there in the distance, right? That's super helpful. Most of these fields that we're harvesting right now, we did not have that plow at that time, so that's going to be even a little bit faster for us, right? It's going to speed things up. I think I'm going to change the color of most of this farm's to like a red color. I know we had that blue color. We still have that New Holland that's blue, but we now have a green tractor. We've got 3 red things. We've got a red harvester. So I think I'm going to change it to red. I kind of changed the thumbnail color to red, so I think I'm going to change it to red. And then maybe for the farm 3, maybe we go back to blue or green or orange, whatever color we decide to do, right? But since we're using so many things on this one that are, you know, they don't have a whole lot of ability to change the colors, I think red makes a little bit more sense. We've got a lot of red stuff, so we'll go red. We can't change that one planter. That's fine. The drill's already red. The roller's red. The weeder's red. The harvester's red. Part of the trailer is red, so we're going to go red. Obviously, don't have the ability to change any of those colors right now, but we will change them later on. Probably when we get the yard set. I'm thinking about putting some kind of a maintenance shed on that yard when we go to it, wherever it ends up being at. So, we'll probably change them then, but that's something that's coming. It's a very minor update, but it's an update nonetheless. Most of those things we have there should be free. It shouldn't be anything that costs money to modify the colors, but there'll probably be a couple of them that will. Oh, I don't want to put it in there. What am I doing? Whoops, I almost screwed up there, gang. I almost started putting it into our production. We don't want to put it in there. I said that already. Alright, and then we'll get this moving over here. When that's unloaded, we'll get it out of the way, and we can unload this. So we'll unfold this thing back up here. Put this away. We probably are going to plow this field right next to us up today, but that'll probably be the only one that we focus on plowing today. Just because we do have a little bit more time than I anticipated we were going to have at this point for all three of those. Having this nice bigger head, having the bigger header definitely helped. It definitely helped us. If we would have gone with that 6-meter one, we probably would still be working on it. Actually, we would still be working on this field right here next to us. This point, you know, given how far we are along in the series and the money we're making, it's really about, you know, trying to get bigger equipment, wider equipment, things that are going to make our life easier. That's really where we're at right now. So let's grab this plow. I doubt anything else popped up on the used market, but we might as well take a peek while we're at it, right? Highly doubtful. We only have 90 grand. Soon we'll have a lot more, but we only have 90 grand for right now. Alright, used market. Nope, nothing. Didn't think there would be. Really didn't. But you never know, right? A windrower, hay or straw and rows, yeah. I mean, it's a pretty wide one, but I don't think we really need it. At least not yet. A couple other things I've talked about, and they're still in the plans. We've got to get some more land to do it. But I've talked about, you know, there's a production. Well, it's a bunch of mods, but it's a production that we can do some different oils. More specifically, we can do crude oil, which is kind of exciting. I've never done the crude oil stuff, but I'd like to do this. Obviously, very expensive. We need more land to do so. We can certainly maybe take up some of the actual crop fields that we have right now to do that. I'm not quite sure I want to. There's plenty of land on this map that has nothing on it. I think it would be better fit to do it there. So we'll see as we move along here. Obviously, we need a lot more money. We need a lot more land before that's going to happen. But, you know, I've thought about it, you know, over in this area here, or, you know, this area here, or realistically, even here, right? We talked about maybe the yard here, too, before. But, you know, there's lots of different areas, really, we could put it. We just have to buy the land, and all that land is super expensive. So we'll get there soon. We will. You know, we just got to get some more of this stuff producing, you know, and get to the selling periods of time, right? The canola oil, probably next month. We'll have all of the wood stuff that we're going to be selling soon, all of those pickle productions soon, all of the roasted coffee beans, right? All of that stuff is going to be selling soon. And that will produce a lot of money for us. All the wood chips, right? All of that is coming very, very soon. Now, we're plowing this field right now. It is still, well, I guess I shouldn't say that. We should look at it. I was going to say it's still going to need some lime, but actually, now that I say that, it may not. pH value looks pretty good. So maybe not. Probably could put some more down, though. We probably could put some more down, but it's I mean, you can see it right there. The pH value says good. So it'll definitely accept a little bit, but it's not going to be a major amount we have to put down. So... we haven't done anything with field 58 either, but if we do, we'll put more sunflowers in there. That's going to be another sunflower field for me. Pretty positive we're not going to be doing that field for the yard at this point. I'm pretty positive about it, but you never know. My mind may change in a couple of episodes. You never know. The competitive one-tile challenge should be, I think it ends this weekend, I think. So it goes without saying, I want to thank every one of you for watching that to the extent that you did, I should say. It's been very successful for all three of us. We do appreciate all the support that you've given to all three of us. It's been a lot of fun. I believe I'm going to be in last place, which at the beginning I thought I was going to be winning this like a breeze. You know, but they made some major comebacks. They put on a lot of stuff that produces a lot more money than what I've got. But this last episode we're going to record. I think the time I'm recording this relatively early because I mentioned, you know, I'm going to be out of town for a little while. But the last episode we're recording it tomorrow. I'm going to need, me personally, I'm going to need like 3 hours. I don't know how I'm going to get it all done. I really don't. I have so many things to sell. I already started selling things off in tomorrow's episode, I guess. I guess it'll be tomorrow's episode. I already started selling things off. Bit of a spoiler, but I already started selling some things off. But, yeah, we got a lot more to sell. We've got a lot more to sell. Just to give you a heads up, we've got over 100 pallets of insect flour. I don't know what the exact number is going to be, but it's over 100. It's going to be abysmal. It is going to be abysmal because I can't pick those up by hand. Most of the things I have left, I can pick up by hand. That is one of them that I cannot do. I have got to do that the manual way. Or in other words, I've got to use a piece of equipment to do it. And it is a pain in the ass. So, we will see how this goes. I mean, I would love to sell some of them, auto-sell some of them, but... you know, you're not going to make the full amount of money that you should if you do an auto-selling, right? So I would realistically like to, well, quite frankly, I'd like to sell them without auto-selling them, but we may get to a point where we have to. I don't know. I just don't know. But we've got this field plowed up, and we're done for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash the like, subscribe button on the case you've yet to do so. It's free, and it helps me and the channel out tremendously, so please do if you haven't yet to do so. Thanks to my members for all the continued support. There is a link down below if you want early access to videos like this one. Check out my second channel. Check out the Discord. All the good stuff I always mention. It's always down below for you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your continued support. As always, it really does mean a lot to me. I do appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you next time.